Well, it's a long story. I mean, I've been a musician all my life. I grew up playing music and having bands in high school and this and that, and grew up in the middle of the Haight-Ashbury scene of the 60s, so I was into all that. San Francisco scene kind of collapsed. I bought a one-way ticket to Amsterdam and went overland to India. I left San Francisco end of 69. I arrived in India beginning of 70. When I came to India, I started to go from temple to temple, and I started to meet sadhus and yogis. And I went to the Himalayas, and I lived with the yogis for many years in Himalayas also, several years studying yoga. I used to go into meditation, and whole songs would come to me, and I used to go to Goa, and I used to play these songs. This is when they started to call me Goa Gil. That time I used to write and sing songs, many spiritual songs. God's children are everywhere, Mother Earth, Towards the One, Welcome in the Dawn of the New Day, many spiritual songs. When I first went to Goa, there was very few people, only a few of us staying in one house on the beach. First parties was just a campfire on the beach singing and playing guitar. Then as the scene got bigger, we got amplifiers, we got guitars, we made bands, drums, everything, PA system. In the mid-70s, we had like 5 different bands playing original song with DJs in between. This was Goa Party. But then in the end of the 70s, after playing so many kind of music with bands, many different styles, I kind of got bored of all that kind of thing, and I started to hear the first roots of techno music, the first Kraftwerk, the first Williston Dodgers, the first Front 242, and all this kind of music. And then I thought, wow, this is the music of now. This music, when I heard the tribal rhythms on the drum machines, but the synthesizer sounds like alien and futuristic on top, I thought, this is the music of now. It reflects the times that we live in now. And we started to collect all this kind of music as much as possible. In those days, we used to even collect from High Energy or any remixes of Depeche Mode or New Order or this and that. Sometime there'd be really good track that had really good drum machine and synthesizer, but there would be some singing inside we didn't like. So many times we used to take the parts with the singing out, take the parts with the drum machine and the synthesizer, rearrange them in different way, and make one full track instrumental. So this way we could make a whole night of electronic dance music instrumental in our concept, without some kind of, oh yeah, whatever coming inside. Yeah. We made a whole night like this. So then at that point, many of the musicians or freaks who was partying in Goa listening to these sounds, they saw the idea what we were trying to put across musically, and many of them then started to go back to the West, set up their studio, and start to make music which fit exactly for our idea of what we were trying to do with the party. And so Goa Trance was born. People like Rajaram from Tip Records, or Youth from Dragonfly Records, or Mike McGuire from Juno Reactor, Johan. All these kind of people came in the early 90s. They came on our parties, they heard the sound, they went back to the West, and they start to make the sound and make record companies to distribute this music. The thing that was always the same for me about the music was that music has always been a soundtrack for my life. The whole time when I was growing up, always music was there. It was the soundtrack of my life. It reflected the things around me. And then when I went to India and learned about the spirit, I could understand when those songs came to me, I could see that when I went into that state and the song came through me, and all the people who were listening, they also went into that state. And then I realized the strength of music as a vehicle of transmission, that you could affect people's consciousness and even take them to the highest level through music. So I started to focus on that, not only with my live music in the 70s, but then when I came into DJing, The spirit has always been the same in this kind of thing. When I come to the party, I set up my altar. I make an offering to the cosmic spirit. Then I start the music. The whole music and the whole party becomes an offering to the cosmic spirit. This is the way that I communicate to the universe, is through music. And it's a very personal relationship. And somehow I feel that when you play the music in the right way, the spirit can really come to that place and everyone can feel it and be blessed by it. And this is what we're trying to do with Party. To use Party to uplift people's consciousness and try to light a light in their mind and in their heart through this ancient tribal ritual that's existed since the beginning of time. I don't want to talk about history anymore. What I want to say is that since the beginning of time, mankind has used music and dance to commune with the spirit of nature and the spirit of the universe. We are using music in this same spirit. Dance is like an active meditation. When people hear the beats that they really like, especially when it's something new, but it sounds like what they really like and they come really one with the dance, then they stop to think. It's like a kind of meditation. And when you have the right guide who's creating the right story with the music, and then you continue to dance in that kind of way, one track after another for an extended period of time, without that kind of thought, you go in a kind of oneness. I like to say dance. Dance is active meditation. When we dance, we go beyond thought, beyond mind, and beyond our own individuality to become one in the divine ecstasy of union with the cosmic spirit. This is the essence of the trance dance experience. That's why I don't even call what I do DJing. I call it, since many years, my motto is redefining the ancient tribal ritual for the 21st century.